Hello, hello. Welcome to Realtor Strategies, time with Christelle for us to explore what this week is going to be about. And this week, I am talking about chasing every lead. I want to talk to everybody. I'm open to doing business with everyone. Well, know that this could actually slow down your business, whether you've been in real estate for years or you're just starting out. So let's fix that today. So whether you've closed 20 deals in the last year, last months, or you still are new to the business, agents who are getting consistent leads have one thing in common. They know exactly who they serve and what they stand for. So I want you to take a moment and think about this. What's one type of client you've enjoyed working with? So I know you and I, Tara, have done this where you've thought about the client, and first answer was first time home buyer. We talked about it last week a little bit too. And then as we went deeper, you determined and realized what's truly in alignment on who is it that I love to work with. So what's your one type of client you've enjoyed working with, Tara?
So my type of client that I would like to work with is investors that want to make money while they sleep. Now, you may have to build that over time. Some people think it's going to come right away, but if you do the right strategies and work with the right team, such as us, you will accomplish that goal for you and your family.
So I'm adjusting. Give me 1 second. Okay. Recording in progress. So why most agents struggle to attract quality leads? Well, first of all, chasing every lead equals to burnout. Messaging that's too broad basically gets ignored because you're not speaking to the right audience. Feels like you are starting from scratch every month, and then there's no consistent content themes, and that equals to no recognition. So that's one of the main problem. Most realtors struggle with attracting quality leads is being burnt out, being ignored with the message because it's just broad. I'm a realtor and I want to help you buy a house. And having to start over and over with the each month because our business is very cyclical, right? Each month we have a 30-day closing. I'm excited, but we're not being recognized for our content. So what is the solution? What is one solution? Clarity creates consistency. And with consistency we create closings. So once you know your niche, which is basically the target, your best opportunities, once you define your pillars, which is always know what to talk about, and then once you align with the right lender programs, if you're not doing cash out buyers, then this gives your prospect a reason to choose you. So know your niche, define your pillars, and align with the right lender that works with the program that answers or solution to your client base, as well as if you're a listing agent, your property type that you're marketing. So now let's go into what is a niche. Let's go first into definition. A niche is a specific group of people you can serve better than anyone else. And your voice might say, well, I don't know if I can serve better than anyone else if I want to work with first-time buyers, investors, like Tara likes to work with investors because she might be new to it, or you might be new to it, or you might be so seasoned, but the market has changed. But it's still your intention, right? Your intention is to have a niche, a specific group of people you can serve, a specific group of people you enjoy working with, and that you know you can improve as you go, but you know you can serve them better than anyone else. So let me give you some examples of realtor niche. So it could be a life stage niche. For instance, first-time buyers, move-up buyers, downsizers, relocation. So that's life stage niche. What about life event niche? So that's going to be somebody who is going through divorce, growing the family, inheritance sales, or retirement. Okay. Those are connected to the life stage as well as life event, but they're very specific as well. Then you can have your investor niche. So I want to work with investors who do DSCR, which is basically they are financing your property to keep and hold. And that property is going to be qualified, their property cash flow compared to the mortgage payment, and that's basically the debt service ratio of the property. We don't look at your the client or the applicant's personal income or business income. We look at the property. So that's the DSCR program. Then you have your short-term rentals. Okay, I just want to have Airbnb. So you really want to know who you want to work with as far as your investor, or it could be a combination. You could have multifamily and you can have your BRR strategy. So that's investor niche. Now you have the demographic niche also. You want to work with military, VA, because you have background. Your parent was in the military, you have a heart for it, or your spouse, whatever the reason may be. You can work with foreign nationals or people who are have a tax ID on 18 borrowers or luxury market or a specific cultural group. So basically, you can define your niche as a life stage, life events, or an investor niche, or your demographic niche. Now, how do you find or define your niche? So I want to ask you a couple of questions. And again, if you've been in business for a while and you want to look at your last 5 transactions, or if you're new to the business or haven't closed any deals, who is the client that you want to serve, the clients that you want to serve? So you want to ask yourself, who are they? Who are those clients that I want to serve? Who do I have a heart for and I'm just long to help them? What are their challenges? And how can I help solve their challenge? How can I help them? Okay, so that's how you will find your niche. So go ahead and write those questions. And in your theme, you will see it will come through who is your niche, who you want to work with, who you have your heart for. Now, let's transition into your pillars. So your niche tells people who you serve. Again, your niche tells people who you serve. Your pillars tell people why they should work with you. Okay, so now let's go into the pillars. Pillars are the 3 to 4 core themes you consistently create content around and talk about with your audience. Okay, my niche, my pillars, for instance, mindset and faith. So I'm into a growth mindset. I building confidence from practicing, from showing up, from being vulnerable, um, and also overcoming buyer's fear. So that mindset of like, what's in the way? How can I help you push through and get to the other side? On another pillar is being having programs and solutions. My mindset is being solution driven, being opportunity and possibility driven. So some of my programs would be a grant if I'm working with somebody who's a first-time buyer, down payment assistance, or any creative financing, and also specialty financing like the DSCR, the HELOC, the IT, the bank statement loans, right? So my audience will hear me talk more about those aspects because that's a pillar of who Christelle, who I present myself as in this world. Now, for you, as a realtor, here's some ideas. You can look at the local market updates. So wherever you want to really farm, we call it, right, the farming of an area. And you go into the coffee shops, you go into the businesses, the local businesses, and you are an expert in that particular area. You provide updates of what's coming new to this area. So that can be a pillar. Like you provide information based on the region. You can love staging, and now you are one of your pillar is, let's say your feng shui. It's like, by the way, by having this by your door, by having this by this, like you really go into the staging and prepping tips, and that becomes one of your pillar. You love educating first-time buyers. So for instance, maybe buying your first home as a homeowner was very challenging, and you want to provide that answer, like the things that I didn't know when I purchased, I want to give this to you, and you want to educate a first-time buyer. It could be relocation guidance. Like Tara, for instance, relocated from Minnesota to Colorado. So maybe that could have been a pillar for her of how to relocate with ease. All the things doesn't mean that I necessarily went through the ease of relocating, but all the things that I know now I should have or could have, and I want to give those to you. Um, you can have investments strategies, which is one of Tiara is also having all this education and knowledge about investors. So definitely reach out to her as she educates prospect investors. And then you have your neighborhood spotlights, like I mentioned, like a particular plaza or particular area with what like for instance, I'm in the Caribbean right now working remotely and where I'm originally from. So yes, I'm not going to market this as my for mortgage, but if let's say this was my hometown and I could do business here, so I would spotlight all the activities that we have going on this week as we have August 15th is a festival for the whole island. Or your pillar could be VA or military benefits. Okay, so go ahead and choose three things from what I just shared as an example that you want to be known for. At least one should connect directly to your niche. Okay, remember that a niche is tells people who you serve. Okay, so let's just close with this. Your niche and your pillar connection. Your niche could be, let's say, a first-time buyer, and your pillar could be home education, creative home financing solution, neighborhood spotlights for affordability. Now, Tara, give us an example of how do you feel about the distinction, or how has it helped you to have a distinction between your niche and your pillar and actually combining them, that clarity?
I think you have to find what brings you joy so you can share with other people. Because if you're excited about it, you're going to make others excited about it. And you're also going to be motivated to continue to learn that so you can share it with the right people, and align with the right clients so you can be the expert in that area. Sometimes, because we're on social media and all these things, there's so much information out there, and so we think we need to be an expert in everything. And it's like, no, what brings you joy so you can share with other people and so they can make the proper decisions for them and their family.
Beautiful. I love that. And I love that keyword where it brings you joy and not just doing it to for the money aspect of it, because as I said, the money comes as you're aligned to that joy, to that innocence of like, I just love doing this. And by even smiling, by being excited for it. So great point of adding that feeling, that emotion
Yeah.
of, and that's part of manifestation is feeling it, right? It's feeling that emotion, which one of the greatest emotion is joy. So thank you for that. All right. Now let's go into just to close how, of course, I'm a lender, so I'm going to tie it to how lender programs can fit in for you. So your lender has tools that can become your content and talking points. So if, for instance, you're working with investors, then you may want to go ahead and have a lender that and has knowledge and the ability to speak about your client's needs. You want to match your program with your niche need. Um, and it also makes it easier to market because you are positioned as the solution provider. So again, an example, first-time buyers, creative down payment solution. The program could be a grant. So like I have a grant in Georgia that's like 2% of the price of the home, up to $7,000. There could be grants based on the counties if your niche is a particular town or county. Okay.
Mhm.
So my invitation by next Tuesday is to go ahead and finalize your niche, your top two, and test it out. See how it feels. Because as you actually define your niche and you start working on it, it's like, I thought I wanted to really work with this type of buyer. And I remember something that happened. It wasn't actually the best feeling. Now, I'm not saying it's be stuck in your feelings and your emotion, but identify what's truly, this is like a testing ground for which niche is best in alignment for you. And then define three pillars. And every day, you create one piece of content for each pillar and connect it with your niche. So I would love to hear from you. So DM me your niche and your pillar. And if you're still not sure how to really have that clarity and define it, I would love to connect with you. Would love for you to actually come and join this cohort of Realtor Strategy, where we're coming together and exchanging. Yes, I provide some guidance based on what I've learned because of the coaching that I've received, but also it's an exchange. This is not about me just teaching or providing information. It's actually receiving from you what's in the way so I can guide because that makes me grow as well. Tara, is anything that from what we've worked on together, that one last thing you would like to add in regards to this topic?
I would say that definitely defining your niche is the best thing that you can do. So then that way, when you're coming to something like this, the cohorts with us, you're able to come with the correct questions and get the answers that you need and work through things. Because sometimes we're thinking about so many things and then we come and we talk to people and be like, oh, okay, it's really that simple. So all I have to do is A, B, and C. And then you could go off and take action. So I feel like when you come here, you may come with some non-clarity, I guess you should say, but then you leave with clarity so then you could take action for the week or even the month or the next couple months. And once you get your flow, then it'll be easier that way.
Definitely love your words of wisdom on that and showing up and exchanging so we can grow together as a cohort. So in closing, just want to say thank you so much for listening to the possibilities. Join us. It's again every Tuesday, Eastern Time, 10 o'clock. Usually take about an hour. Sometimes go a little bit longer. Just want to make sure you feel complete, but really within an hour. We've gone into Canva, we've gone into the different social media platforms, but it's really based on the needs of what the group comes in. So I don't come to just share and say, this is what you need to learn, because who am I to say that? It's really what is need right now. So join us. I would love to see you, would love to hear from you, and have a great one. See you next week.